My next guest takes on Joe Yager coming up here at Battlefield Fight League 48 on April 29th. Arjan Bhullar joins me here on the program for the very first time. Arjan, how are you?
I am fantastic, James. Very happy to be here. Happy to finally connect with you. I'm looking forward to the next half hour.
Yeah, same here. And I got to say, I've interviewed a lot of Canadian fighters, and you're a name that keeps coming up. And when I saw you had this fight coming up, I had to hit up my buddy Dave Perron and get this set up. So I got to give a quick shout out to Dave right off the top here. But because this is the first time I've had you on the show, you've got an incredible backstory as far as your wrestling career and everything like that. Do you want to just tell my audience a little bit about your career in the wrestling world and then also the transition to mixed martial arts?
Yeah, you know what? Like you said, the story's out there. It's been out there for a while. It's special. I've been wrestling since I was in diapers. Dad being a wrestler before me. And you know what? I did that for forever up until the 2012 Olympics. And right before the Olympics, you know what? I started turning my attention to this sport, the sport of MMA. That guy right behind you, Daniel Cormier, he was one of the guys I was looking at. He's older than me, so I looked up to him when I was wrestling, and then also when he made the switch over, and a lot of other guys made the switch over as well that I trained against, trained with, and it really piqued my interest. But wrestling was an amazing journey. It was a lifelong endeavor, but I'm still looking to be that world champion. I've won numerous Canadian titles and international medals. But I haven't been able to sit on top of the world just yet, and I'm hoping to do that in MMA now.
Yeah, and you mentioned Daniel Cormier there. You've actually had the opportunity to train at American Kickboxing Academy, haven't you?
Yeah. So, those guys, when I first made my first world team back in 2007, guys on the team, King Mo was on the team then, DC was on the team then. I was 21 years old, so I was in university, and I was on Team Canada. I was doing double duty, but I went down and trained with them at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. We were just talking about Flow. Flow launched that year. That was their first year when they started getting the company going. I remember them being in our training sessions, starting Flow Wrestling, all that. And those guys, they've done amazing things. But so I kind of got my feet wet on the international scene then. And then when I made the switch over, I reached out to King Mo again. Because we kept in touch with the wrestling scene, and he'd already made the switch over coming through Japan and all that. And I told him, look, I want to get into this game. It was a calculated decision as well. I learned that, the Indian market is untapped in the sport of MMA, and the UFC was looking to expand. They'd signed a Sony deal in the country of India at that time. So everything was lining up perfectly, and I looked at the landscape. The best wrestlers have gone through AKA and become world champions, especially the heavyweights with DC, with King Mo at the time. You got Cain Velasquez. They've done really well with wrestlers, especially heavyweight wrestlers. So I dropped anchor there. I got family that live 15 minutes from the gym, so it's been a perfect situation for me.
Excellent. And what's your full-time job outside of fighting? Like, what sort of pays the bills for you right now?
You know what? I've been blessed. I got a great support network around me that allows me to do this full time.
Oh, excellent.
I'm not a recreational guy, a part-time guy. I do this 2 times a day, 365, just like how I wrestled. I do coach at the university. I'm a wrestling coach at the University of Fraser Valley. But I got a lot of support. We're Indians also. My culture is big. I live with my family. We've got over 20 people in one house here on the farm. So it's not like I got to pay a mortgage, but we're on the journey together in terms of sport and life. So I'm blessed.
Excellent. And your career's gone great. I mean, you made your pro debut in 2014. You've got a 5-0 record. Are you happy with the progression that your career's gone with? I know you probably would have liked to fight more, but again, you got that undefeated record.
Yeah, you know what? I'm used to the wrestling. You compete every weekend. You got 6, 7 people in a tournament that you'll compete against. That was what I was. I was naive. I got into the sport. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do exactly that. Every month, 2 months, I want to go again. And I tried to do that. It doesn't work for whatever reasons. And I've had tough time getting fights and tough time keeping fights together. And I've come to learn the business. You can't really get out of town because they want their local guys. They want to promote to sell tickets and win. So I haven't been able to do that. But we, like you said, we're at 5-0, coming on 6-0 now, which is fantastic, but more importantly, we've been getting better. I've been able to put the right people around me, and we've been getting better all the way through. It's just a matter of being able to show it off.
And, if you want to get to that next level, you got to fight veterans. And that's what I love about this matchup. You're taking on Joe Yager. And if that name sounds familiar to Canadians, Joe Yager fought Tanner Boser, who's the unified heavyweight champion. So there is a bit of notoriety there in Canada. How excited were you when you were presented this matchup just with Joe's experience?
Yeah, it was amazing. Number one, we got an opponent. More than anything,
yes.
I'm happy. Number two, it's the right type of opponent to get me up to the next level, which is where we're at now and what we need. And number three, he comes from a college wrestling background, so he's unique in terms of competitors I've faced. It'd be good for my development to get in there with a guy who's wrestled. We've been in there with black belts, we've been there with all types of guys already, southpaws, orthodox. So we've been able to, get that experience with different types of fighters, which is very important in this developmental stage. And that's how I've approached this. And there's another guy we'll check off the list. Okay, been in there with a wrestler as well now. But we're excited, man. It's going to be, on top of that, it's in my hometown here in Vancouver. So we're going to have a packed house. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome fight. You talked a bit about training there. Who are some of your main training partners helping you get ready for this fight?
Yeah, you know what? I got some great guys locally that have been, integral to my training. We've got high-level jiu-jitsu guys, high-level stand-up guys. I split my time between Checkmat Vancouver and Johnsy Kickboxing with, Josh Johnsy up in Glory. They know exactly what they're doing with the striking. It's been a perfect mix for me. And, I've been able to be a priority here with guys working on me and coaches having their eyes on me the whole time, which has been fantastic. I was looking to dip down to AKA for a couple of weeks, but it just didn't work out with DC's fight date. It didn't line up as well as I would have hoped. But like I said, we're happy and comfortable with what we've got here. That's why I didn't go down there. And we're on point. We're ready to go.
Yeah, I often hear guys sometimes like to go to camps after their fight's over because if they don't have a fight coming up, there's no time restrictions. They can kind of just soak it all in without having to prepare for a specific opponent. Is that sort of the plan with you? Maybe after this to head down to AKA?
For sure. Anytime I get a chance, I head down to AK. Like I said, I got a family that takes care of me. I got a place to live, got my own car, all that type of stuff. 15 minutes from the gym. So anytime I can get away, I'll get down. There's a 2-hour flight from Vancouver. I keep in touch with some of those guys, even between. And like I said, I train 365. I'm full time, so I don't just get ready for a fight. I'm always looking to get better in between fights. That's when you really make your growth. When you're getting ready for a fight, you're just training specifically for that one opponent. So for sure, I'll look to get down there after this upcoming fight. Yes.
Excellent. How much of an influence has Cormier been on your career, and what were your thoughts on his win this past weekend at UFC 210?
Awesome, man. Anytime a wrestler is competing, you got to back your guy. I'm a wrestler through and through. More importantly, he's Olympic caliber. He's captain of the team, all that stuff. So, and then he's from AK, so that makes it even more special. I was very happy for him. I sent Hav a message right after the fight, and a couple of the fighters, congrats, all that kind of stuff. So it was amazing. He put that grind on Rumble, who's also a wrestler. So, but unfortunately, one guy's got to win, and I'd rather be our guy. It was easier than the first fight. I was very happy to see that. I don't know what Rumble was thinking in terms of his game plan, but DC looked more comfortable in the stand-up than he did in the first fight. I did feel that. So that speaks to the growth they had and the development between that fight and now. And it was great to see, and I'm excited for his next fight. Hopefully, he gets that guy right behind you, John Jones.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, that's right. I forgot I have the poster back there. I'm sure they're going to match up at some point, but probably not International Fight Week because Dana White was saying that it sounds like they're not going to do that matchup. But we'll see what happens. If you get the win here, you're going to be 6-0. Is there any plans to sort of compete for a bigger organization after this? Has there been any talks with some of the bigger promotions?
Yeah, that's always the focus. I wasn't here to be on the regional scene, to be number one in Canada, or be a participant in one of the bigger scenes in terms of promotions. I joined the sport to be the best. Period. That's always been my goal in whatever I've done, and that's definitely what we're going to look at after April 29th. And we'll talk to a couple of the promotions at that time.
Well, the good news is, first off, the heavyweight division, they need prospects. I mean, you're definitely a guy that I'm sure they're looking at. And two, it sounds like the UFC might be coming to Edmonton in September. That's the rumor. Is that something you're kind of aiming at? Because, Edmonton, not that far away from Vancouver.
Yeah, and you know what? I've fought in Calgary a few times now for Hard Knocks as well. And they got a good Indian community out there, out in Edmonton especially, Millwoods area. So yeah, if it works out to be Edmonton, so be it. But more than anything, UFC's looking for heavyweights. They're looking for quality heavyweights, and they're looking to make money. If you want to make money, you want to get an Indian on your roster. If you want an Indian, I'm your guy. So I think it lines up in terms of the big picture as well. I don't know what their plans are for global expansion with the new owners, but out Canada for sure, US for sure. But outside of that, we got a whole following that's eagerly awaiting their guy.
Yeah, I agree. What's your prediction for this fight? Tanner Boser wasn't able to finish Joe Yager. Do you feel like you'll be able to?
For sure. I think me and Boser, we have different attributes. I'm going to put it on this guy. I'm not afraid. I think maybe Boser was trying to keep a bit of range with him. Maybe he was hesitant in terms of the wrestling that Yager brought, that type of thing. I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to have my hands up. I'm going to walk him down. If he chooses to keep his hands up, I'll take him down. If he looks to defend, I'll crack him. And he will not make the end of the fight.
Good stuff. I like it. We talked all about your fighting career and everything else. What do you like doing on your downtime? It sounds like you're a big family guy, but are you like a Netflix guy, you a sports fan, you a video game guy? What do you like doing when you're not in the gym training?
Yeah, you know what? I just like, because I travel so much, I like sticking around with family and friends. I've got a pretty close network that I keep close to me and been with me since I was a little kid. So I like to just chill out. I'll play some video games. I'm a car enthusiast. I got a 1970 Chevelle that I built up from scratch. So I like giving attention to my projects in that regard. And just really downtime and staying local. That's sort of like how things look.
That's excellent. What are you playing at video games wise right now?
You know what? I was a big Call of Duty guy. So I was huge on that. FIFA, obviously soccer. I like that type of stuff. So those two are my top two. But you know what? It's usually been me and my brother. We'll play together. He's got another kid on the way right now. So, you know what? His wife's due just in a few weeks. So I think we're going to have to take a break for that until after the fight.
You Canucks fan at all? I got to ask just because I'm also from Vancouver and, I'm a big Canucks fan. So got to ask.
I'm not big on hockey, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Canucks, you know what? They make it easy not to like them as well.
Yeah, because they're not winning. They had a horrible season. Yeah.
They're not winning, and you know what? They deal with a different corporate clientele, all that type of stuff. Growing up, I was a big football and basketball guy, and I've always been a boxing guy. Just last weekend was a heck of a weekend for fights. You had Lomachenko was up there. You had DC fighting. You had some glory fights. You had Bellator, John Wayne Parr, Melvin Manhoff, all these guys. So I'm a big fight fan in terms of boxing and MMA, but outside of that, I'll catch some football and basketball mainly.
Did you watch the Grizzlies when they were in town?
For sure. I still have a stub, too, from that game.
Okay.
I kept it. My dad took us when we were younger then. It's been quite some time since they were in town. But yeah, it's. I think we're overdue for a basketball team in town.
I agree. That is one of the saddest sports stories in sports is the Grizzlies leaving because that was mismanaged from the start. And
yes.
They had the owner come in and he said he was going to keep it in Vancouver, and then they moved to Memphis. Very disappointing because I loved the Grizzlies growing up. For
sure, Stu Jackson didn't know what he was doing when they were in town. And then they ended up moving. Look at Oklahoma. That's our team, right?
Yeah.
Memphis. And then Oklahoma was the Seattle Supersonics. Both of them left.
Yeah.
They're both on the West Coast. We got nothing out here except maybe the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
But you know what? It would be nice to get them back up this way. Who knows? I've heard rumors of expansion. I know Vancouver's interested, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. By the way, I think Stu Jackson drafted like 3 point guards in a row or something every draft. Remember they had like Bibby and Antonio Daniels, and it was just such bad mismanagement. But the good news is I heard yesterday that Seattle is building a new arena apparently, and might see the Sonics back. That would be great because I like yourself. I was a big Seattle guy growing up as well too, with the Sonics and the Mariners and everything else. So hopefully get some more sports teams.
Main man, You had the Rain Man, you had the Glove,
Yeah.
you had all those guys. I heard Russell Wilson's a part of that group trying to bring him back.
Yeah.
And even the Vancouver Canucks owners are interested in bringing in a basketball team. They want to get that up here as well. So it'd be nice. The city needs it, you know?
Yeah, and the city certainly needs some heavyweight action, and they're going to get it here. Battlefield Fight League 48, April 29th. If you live in the area, go check out some local MMA. I highly recommend it. Arjan, I can't thank you enough for joining me here on the program. Where can people find you on social media? And if you got any thank yous or shout-outs, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah, no, first of all, I just want to thank all my fans. I look forward to April 29th. You know what? Tune in for sure. Battlefield Fight League against Joe Yager. Also keep in touch. Moving forward, we got big things planned for beyond this fight. You can stay in touch over Facebook, Arjan S. Bhullar, Instagram, official Arjan Singh Bhullar, and Twitter, one Arjan Singh. You know what? Keep in touch. Follow me. I appreciate the love. And we're looking forward to April 29th.